All right, boys, we are back, and as you can see, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, we are on the road. Myself, Harrison, and John doing a road trip, and I'm driving in the rain. And guess what? For those of you that those seatbelt Nazis, I do have my seatbelt on.
I got mine on,
and Harrison does too. John?
Yep, I got mine.
We know your mom watches.
Mom's watching.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to be rolling on the podcast. Apologize, we didn't have nothing come out on Thursday of last week. Just got behind and then didn't have nothing to fill it in. I know you guys have been loving the Mueller choke with Jim Miller on there. Those have been really, really good, actually. And we will be having more. But things are going to change a little bit. Not necessarily on the consistency of the podcast, but with trips and stuff. And maybe I'll talk about that on another podcast. But anyways, this one might be the last. I think this is kind of the last road trip for me for a while. This guy. Why is it when we start recording they get idiots in front of us?
California drivers.
Yeah, I-5, man.
Look at the stickers on his window, too.
Mm.
Yeah, that explains a lot. I'm not going to say, but just trust us.
You can infer.
But I'm excited. I'm sure you guys are too. We're pumped.
Yeah.
We originally had a duck tour planned, me, John, Nathaniel, Morgan, and then me and you had our own trip planned, a specific separate. We kind of combined these two because those guys couldn't end up going on theirs. I got a new job, and so things are it just kind of collided this way, and actually I think we're going to have a blast. In fact, we've already laughed pretty hard already.
He's already saved my life within the first
Harrison literally already saved John's life.
Of knowing him.
There's going to be a bond with you two like no one else. The music's going to play every time you see Harrison, John. You're like,
remember
this sweet music playing like your savior or something. Basically, I was having John.
This camera's all
I
over
know,
the
it's
place.
going to be the California roads, dude. Never stinking stays.
I don't even know what we're going to do. Whatever.
You know what? On the bottom of that is that thing. If you have like a Leatherman or a pocket knife, you can unscrew it. It's probably not helping it from If you took that off, it'd probably help it from swiveling. And sorry for you watching the YouTube channel. You're going to be kind of all over the place for about
You're gonna be dizzy.
1 minute. But man, I was eating sunflower seeds and sucked it down my windpipe, and now I've been half choking for the last 20 minutes. But anyways, this episode. Oh, well, we never told what happened. John, why don't you tell us what happened just a second ago?
Well, the podcast stuff is in this little Pelican box, right? And it's in the bed. So Titus rolls his window back, and he asked if I could get it for him. So I turn around. I'm full body out the window.
This is the power slider.
Up to his armpit,
glass.
Yeah, I grab it. I pull it in, and I had to move Harrison's blind bag out of the way before I grabbed it. So I pull it in. I go back out to fix his blind bag, and he starts closing the window back, and I've got full arm and head out the window as it's closing. I couldn't even say anything. I was like in shock. And Harrison was turning around. He's like, hey. And he stopped the window. It was clamping down on
His
me.
whole head stuck out there. Just
Fight or flight right there kicked in on John.
Yeah. It's like a guillotine. Just
Oh, my goodness. I about busted every blood vessel in my head laughing at that. Yeah, so that's how their relationship has started. This is the first time they've met. They've probably seen each other on videos, but never met in person anyways. But on this episode, we're going to talk about waiters. I don't think I've ever had this conversation, Harrison, on a podcast about cheap
Probably not.
versus expensive. I don't know how in the world of 280 some episodes, how we've never really done a full.
we talk about it a lot, but we've never done it on
like
a
touch on
podcast.
it.
Yeah.
But we didn't really get deep in the conversation because I kind of stopped us and said, "Hey, wait, let's record now. Let's talk about that on a podcast before we." So we haven't really dove in too much, but we start off talking about, you had a conversation with somebody one time about.
Oh, one of my buddies this week. We kind of got into it about. I mean, I don't want to say got into it, but he was just throwing the argument out that, high dollar waders aren't worth it and they're so stupid, and why on earth would I ever pay $1,000 for a set of waders when I could buy 5 sets of another brand? Mm-hmm. And
I said, you're going to have to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's,
so you're going to end up
that's
spinning.
Exactly what I told him. I said, yeah, okay, you're going to buy, 4 sets of $300 waders long before I'll ever have to buy another set. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, that's fine. I'll buy 4 sets. And he's saying he got 5 years out of this one set. But, whatever. But not even so much that. I was trying to explain to him the value in them. Not that I care what anyone wears, and not that I need to explain how I spend my hard-earned money.
Right.
Like, I could give, I could care less what anyone else does or what they think. But just as far as I'm trying to tell them, like, the value compared to, say, a lot of these bigger brands, $500-$600 waders that are known to have several issues versus, a set of $800 to $1,000 waders that are basically lifetime.
Yeah.
Not to mention the benefits you get out of it other than the warranty.
Yeah.
We got into it pretty hard about that.
I had the Sitkas for...
I think this is your 6th season, dude.
I for sure is not. If anything, it's my 5th.
Okay,
I don't want
to. I know it's 5th because
yes, I think it is. I just didn't want to be dramatic.
You know how I know it's the 5th? Because you got them before we went to Nebraska to hunt with Matt.
Oh yeah,
and that was my first semester of college. Mm-hmm. And I'm already done with college, so this is the 5th season.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
The 5th season.
Well. So I spent $1,000 on those, right? And it was pretty much dead even $1,000. I think I bought them from Rogers, and
yeah, they're $9.99 anywhere you go.
I've sent them back twice. Well, you know what it is? I had some credit on Rogers. I think I had $100 credit, so yeah, it probably would have been $1,100 out the door, right, after taxes and shipping or whatever.
Yeah, $9.40.
Or it would have been free shipping usually from Rogers. Well, anyways, excuse me, sorry for that, but the 3rd year, the 4th year is when I sent him back because I felt like I was getting wet in my shins.
And not a exact leak, right? Just kind of like, it's kind of moist, damp, like my pants are damp.
Yeah, am I imagining things? It's kind of one of those scenarios, right?
Is it sweat or is it leaking?
Yes. Now, it wasn't January, so I'm thinking, I don't think it's sweat. Well, I just sent him back to basically be checked, right? They did say they found a leak, actually. And I know where I was at when it happened. I think it was a rock, but I wasn't sure it was a leak. Anyways, all that aside, I get them back. I think it took 7 weeks, if I remember right. It was after season. I finished the season out. Because, again, it wasn't that big of a deal for me to, I got to have them right now. I'm getting soaked. It wasn't that kind of deal. Well... got them back, and they put brand new boots on it.
The new style.
Right? They were Lacrosses. This was the first time I sent it back.
No, I don't remember, because the very first set you got...
Well, it was the new style for then, because
that's
the original ones, remember?
I was had that rounded tongue on the front.
Yes, and it said it was hurting my shins.
Yeah, that was the very first style they had.
And that was only the first time I used them. It was funny because the rest of the season, 2-3 seasons after that,
I remember you were paranoid about it.
Yeah, I spent all this money. I spent all this money. This thing's killing my feet or whatever, or my shins.
Yeah.
Anyways, they put the new ones. That never happened again after that first hunt in Nebraska with Matt. Well, then I sent them back. They put them on free, brand new boots that tell exactly what they did to it. Didn't charge me for shipping, nothing. I didn't pay nothing. I was like, wow, okay, well. All right. Well, then after the end of this last season, I felt like again in my right, I think it was my right shin, I felt like, man, it was getting moist again. And I know it was some type of leak, small one. I couldn't find it, but I know something was going on there. Never mind. Have I sent him back 3 times? No. I'll tell you what I sent him back. I lied. It was getting a little bit moist in the shin. I tore the crotch out Remember?
I don't remember.
I caught it on a branch.
Know.
I stepped over a branch in Washington, and it hooked.
I didn't remember this.
No, it didn't hook because Thomas's did the same thing. Just from stretching it, it tore the seam. It was a seam failure in the crotch.
I didn't know this.
Well, I put Quicksil on it to get through it because it was like a faucet. But that wasn't real. That's not their fault. Well, they were calling it seam failure. So, anyways, it doesn't matter. It was at the end of the season, at the literally very end, and I just didn't go in water that was crotch deep, and then sent them in. They fixed that, no questions asked. It was part of a warranty failure, so they covered that. Then last year, this spring, I sent them in because I think just get a regular check just to make sure it's not leaking. And I do kind of think my shins are going a little bit wet. Sent it in. Guess what they did again? New boots.
Yeah, because they just came out with the Gen 3 boots.
But I didn't get those.
Oh, you didn't?
No, because those aren't lacrosse anymore, supposedly.
Correct.
But I'm thinking, I didn't believe people that they came out with a new one because I said, I just got mine back and they never put the new ones on mine, so I don't think that's real.
I think they just ran through the rest of their stock.
They must have, which is fine. I really didn't want to change the boots, and I've heard people saying those new ones aren't as good, which I don't know how they would know. They haven't been out long enough.
I don't know.
Anyways, long story short, I know that was kind of a long explanation, but my point is I haven't paid a dime, and this is a 5th season. I tell you right now, in 5 seasons, buying $300 waders.
I'd have 5 sets. I've done it.
Well, even if I would have did 3.
You already know I've done it every single set. Actually, I'd go through 2 because this one particular company that I'd get is a 12-month warranty, and I would literally start the season September, October with them.
Well,
and
you can say who it is. I'm kind of curious. I mean, it doesn't.
They were just the original Rogers breathables.
Okay.
And
yeah,
I'd get to like mid-November, and I'd get a leak. Either between my legs somewhere, like on the inseam or in my crotch. Leak every single time.
Right.
So, and then what they would do, and it's season, right? I don't just
right.
I didn't have an extra set then, right? So I'm like, now what? So they wouldn't send them. They can't warranty them without you get another set. So then I said, okay, what if I buy another set?
Right.
I'll pay for them.
Right.
I'll send these in once you get them. If you find out it was a failure of the product, you can warranty them. Well, they'll only warranty them once. Right. So
is that their new thing, or is that just how
it's always been like that? They'll only warranty them one time.
Okay.
So I sent them in, whatever. So I'd basically go through 2 sets every season. I'd get a half season. Actually, let me take that back. Not every season, but like 3 seasons that happened. A couple other ones, I'd make a set a year. And I was constantly buying waders. Every single year was a brand new set. And I don't even know what they cost now, but it then was $300, $300 plus.
The nice Rogers.
Yeah, these aren't even the high dollar ones. The fancier ones they have are like $600 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these are way before they came out. These are just the standard 2-in-1 breathables that have that insulation that zips in.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Which they're the ones that look like the Frog Talks, just the older style. The ones I used to always wear. But whatever. Then I finally got the Sitkas, and I'm going on 3rd season. Yes, 3rd season. 3rd season of Sitkas, which I've only worn them a handful of times this year, but 0 problems. And, I haven't had to send them back yet, and I hope I don't, but we'll see.
Even then, it's not supposedly during season. So the first time I sent them back, I think it took 7 weeks. The second time I sent them back, I think it took 4. But that was after season. Everyone says they're longer during season.
Look at all those geese.
I know. Look at that, John.
Oh wow!
My goodness.
Oh my word!
Right there.
There's probably like
holy moly.
There's probably 4. Yeah, there's probably 4,000 in that field.
Pillow goes flying out the window.
Yeah.
But
those specs.
I'm trying to. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look at that one.
Ooh, there's another 5,000. Ooh. You can walk across those, dude.
And then look at all the ones back to the back.
Right, yeah.
Look at all that water.
Oh, my goodness, look at that check. Oh, that one's absolute. So is the one next to it. Just chalked.
Look at all those mallards right there, too.
A lot of specks and ducks.
I mean, what is it? Like
rice. Yeah. See, that hasn't all been planted rice in probably
2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, at least. I was going to say here longer, but
I just came through here not that long ago. They all got harvested and flooded.
Yep.
But
that's nuts.
I don't remember where I was going at with that wader thing. But I guess what I was saying is I would always have to buy a set of waders And I always, I've
Right.
always justified higher dollar gear. I had all the other stuff, just not the waders. And I don't know. There was something in my head that I knew was worth it, but I just wouldn't spend the money.
Right.
And then I remember one day I was literally sitting on a couch. It was like a Saturday or Sunday, and you called me, and we were talking about waders, and he's like, dude, you're so, you say that every year you're going to get a set. And I'm like, maybe next year. You're like, every year you say it. Dude, you just got to do it. And I remember I literally sat up, walked to the office.
No, hold on. I did say that, but then what happened, what triggered it, I go, dude, I just got my waders back, brand new boots, and they didn't charge me a dime.
You're right.
And that was when you just
and
went,
you're like,
bing.
just do it. And I literally, I'm not even kidding you. We're on the phone. I'm sitting on the couch. I literally sit up, walk straight to the office.
You did, literally.
We're on speakerphone. I'm go on my computer.
And I said to you,
right
dude,
on the spot.
because they just got the new batch in the end of July, Sitka always gets their fresh ones in.
Oh, I remember, because I was like, I'll get them. You're like, dude, you do it every year. They sell out.
I said, you have to do it right now.
Because they don't restock till the spring.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. And then I went on there. They were already out of the solid color that I wanted.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting the timber, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have anyway. But, yeah, I don't know. 3 years. Well worth it.
So, John, let me ask you this, John. You've been hunting. How long have you been hunting now?
I think this is my 5th season.
Okay. How many, not the one you got right now, but how many waders have you had since you started?
And
I know you have grown. I mean,
or 4.
You're going from, you're 17 or 18 right now.
17.
And you were young,
but
so you were growing.
I haven't outgrown a pair of waders that I had to get rid of.
Really? Because they already
They've all
leaked.
got a hole before.
So how many of you went through?
3, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
3 pairs.
Three sets in 5 years.
And that's probably only hunting what a season, maybe 10 to 15 times.
Yeah.
Maybe at the
this does-
beginning.
Because my first season, I was 12. I only hunted I don't know, a couple times, handful.
Right.
maybe.
And so none of this counts frozen water, busting
No.
ice,
No.
hiking hundreds of miles a season.
Right.
This is all
you know,
California
traveling.
refuge.
Yeah.
Just
So,
simple.
Right. Yeah.
Simple hunts.
So I mean, that right there, it's a standard thing. People don't need a new set of waders.
Yep.
They're known to be basically disposable
Yeah.
within reason.
Yeah, and I guess we're not trying to convince anybody to pay a lot of money for waders.
Yeah, I could care less what you wear or whatever. It's just,
But don't call people stupid when they buy it, because who's the dumb one? The one that's going to pay. Maybe I shouldn't word it like that, but I mean, think about this. Let's not call anybody stupid here. Let's just do common sense and let's think here. Let's take a 5-year window. Let's do 3-year window. No, let's do 5-year. Let's do a 5-year window. I bought my Sitkas or Kuyus at the 1-year mark for $1,000. Okay, you bought your Gator waders, you bought your Sheen gear, you bought your whatever. And here's the thing: waders have went up astronomically.
crazy. It used to be a good set of waders from Cabela's.
Yeah.
You know what? $200, $250.
Yeah, and
Something
that was
like
kind of
that.
expensive.
Yeah, and now it's to get a
$400.
decent set of waders. It's not just a big old chunk of neoprene. It's $400 to $600.
And not hardly any of those have a warranty. Now, I think Sheen may.
Sheen's a little more expensive though.
They're like $1,000, $1,200.
Yeah,
I think.
that's what I'm saying. They're like the same price as a high dollar.
But dude, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to trash Sheen. I know I don't want to make anybody mad or upset at listening to this. What I'm trying to say though is, I got buddies right now that have them, and they
don't wear
say
'em.
this is what they say. I'm not saying this. They say this. They're garbage. Like they said, you might as well buy a $200-$300 pair. I know that will tick any Sheen lovers out, or Sheen. I don't know how you say it, but
Shin or Sheen, whatever.
it doesn't matter to me. Again, it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying, I have seen them in person. There was nothing I was any more impressed than any other wader I've seen. Not that it goes off of looks. It really depends on dependability and toughness, and then warranty and comfortability. But anyways, I'm just saying. So let's not buy the more expensive one. Let's just buy the $300 to $400 pair ones, and hunt more than 3 times a year. And you're not on a private club where you can walk out in boots,
Right.
and hunt. Okay, let's not do that. Let's compare it to real scenario, real hunting, public land, out there beating the snot out of them. Actually, you don't have to be public land. It could be guides that guide 60 days straight. You know what I mean? To have that confidence in your gear is key. Like, I don't want to do anything for a living that I'm doing subpar gear. Like, do you want to sit there? Not that you have any problem against, what's the place? The little cheap tool place that you can go
Harbor
to.
Freight.
Harbor Freight, because I know it'll get you out of a pinch and a bind. And
that is a good comparison. If you're like a weekend hobbyist type, I use my tools 3-4 times a year. Sure, I wrench for a living.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's one Harbor Freight tool in my truck.
Yeah,
because I use them every day, all day, and I beat on them and I use them. So you're not going to go buy junk when you need it to work.
Yeah.
So I guess it's, I don't know.
And be fair. Like, I mean, let's be seriously fair. There's no way that anybody's not going to say in 5 years you probably bought 3 sets. More than likely. And even
if you hunt how we do. So I guess if you could just say it as the way we hunt, if we weren't guys that hunt.
I guess, yeah.
The guys that hunt,
Not that we're not saying harder than someone else hunts. We're just saying the amount of times we go, where we go, what we do.
They consistently hunt throughout the season. They're duck hunters. They don't just go a few times a year.
Right.
You're gonna.
But even John said though, he never went more than one season with any waders he's had in 5 years, and it wasn't because he couldn't even outgrow them.
Right.
Yeah, that wouldn't even last long enough to outgrow them. They just got holes in them.
Yeah. By the way, so John, we're in QU. I've already said I made the announcement about the QU deal on the QU team. I love it. This is going to be Harrison's first time.
Tried them on.
Did you try them on? How'd the boots fit?
Good. Really good. I like them.
You're glad you didn't have 11s?
Oh, yeah. Very much.
Okay.
I like them. They're snug. Even with my thicker socks, that my foot snaps in like solid. Mm-hmm. And I have enough room in my toes. I'm not crammed. But I have that snugness around my ankle with the support. I really like it.
I do love that, dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see after this few days of hunting what you're going to feel about it.
Yeah, no, we'll find out. I've wore some of the other stuff, like the top layers, and I have a couple of shirts from them, but we'll see. Put it to the test.
But so John is in the Tidewe. Now, we're not trying to rip any brand at all. Trust me. I'm really not. I do these because I've had a lot of experience in so many different things, and I really like to try to give people are always searching what's the better thing if you've been through it. Not what the company says, not their fancy videos, not their salesmen, but what's the people that put them through a ton of use and abuse. That's why I do this. I don't want you guys thinking I'm trying to rip on Cabela's or rip on this, because I don't know what it is, dude. In the duck hunting community, you talk about people's waders, dog, shells, gun. Duck hunters just lose it, like get so offended. And I guess I could kind of see if, depending on the person and how the tone is, they talk about things. And I don't ever want to come across like that or like a know-it-all. I'm just giving you real-world illustrations.
And I'll never bash a brand because I've owned all of it.
I
literally have an in-laws quarters in the back of my house just plumb full of gear.
Yeah.
And it's every brand you could possibly think of.
Right.
I've had, and I've done it, and I've bought it, and I've ran it, and I've broke it, and I found out what works.
Yep. So that being said, we did that review, and people have asked that over and over again when they watch that video.
Of the waders.
I thought you were doing. I said, look I don't know how many times I've said this. It's a review. Like, you watch a gun. It's so funny because if you watch like those gun channels,
they do every manufacturer gun,
and then people never say nothing because you're showing them what each one can do. I mean, I kind of get it. I guess I get it because they think, oh, you shouldn't be able to talk about nobody else. It's like, I'm not that way. I never have been. But anyways, the Tidewe's, okay? So I know, John, we all know, Tidewe's always been one of those, okay, it's super dirt cheap and get them like $100.
Yeah.
Maybe get half a season out of them. Maybe you'll get lucky, get a whole season out of them. But it's a great one to start out in because it's cheap.
You're just going to try out duck hunting.
If you're going to try
take
out,
your daughter hunting.
You're going to take your daughter.
Outgrow them in 2 months.
Right.
Well,
I ain't going to lie. Olivia, she's been on this podcast, and she's constantly doing stuff with them. They have really been coming out with some stuff I am actually really impressed with. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And did you see those binoculars? Didn't they come out with binoculars?
Binoculars and rangefinder, I think.
For like dirt cheap, and they're good.
They're, a lot better than you'd think.
Probably every bit as good as my cheap Vortexes. But anyways, what my point is I didn't think they'd be around this long, to be honest with you. I really didn't. I thought it was going to be one of those companies that rolls for a little bit and then shuts down. Well, they're still rolling. And so they reached out to me and said, hey, we're coming out with these zip up, full zip waders, da-da-da. And I looked at them. I was like, I was almost deleted the email because they reached out to me to do a review on. Just no strings attached. You don't got to be sponsored by us. You can never use them, whatever, which I was thinking I'm just going to use them as a backup or give them to a friend or somebody. Well, anyways, I got them in and I tried them on. John, remember I text you or something, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you
It's like, dude, these are nice. Like,
yeah.
Okay, these are really nice. And they're well fitted. They're not all baggy. So then John filmed that video for me. And then, now, how are you feeling about them so far? Like, honest opinion. You can say whatever you want.
They're the best waders, obviously, I've had because, I've always just used the neoprenes or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they're the best I've had. And my brother has Sitka waders. And I've worn them both. And I honestly can't tell a difference like that I like either one better. Really? It's like right up there with the Sitkas to me.
The boots are really comfortable, huh?
That's the main thing. Yeah, the boots feel like Sitka boots to me. They're like nice.
They do, dude.
They're soft.
They actually really do feel like Sitka boots.
I will say one thing. The pockets that are supposed to be waterproof, they're not super waterproof. They do leak a little bit up top, but how often are you in 5 feet of water,
Yeah, you guys were hunting a super deep pond.
It was just, just so happened to be hunting a crazy deep pond that day. Mm-hmm. But other than that, they're amazing. I can't tell any difference from the Sitkas.
But I mean, like the pockets, like just everything, like other features. So how anything about it you like specifically?
I don't know if Sitkas have this or not. I don't remember, but I like the inside pocket. So on the inside of the actual wader.
Yeah, Sitka doesn't have that.
Yeah, I can fit, I can put my wallet, my phone, licensing, whatever I need in there. And it's just kind of like an extra little pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how they fit, too. They're, like you said, they're not baggy. And it's hard for me to find not baggy waders on me.
Yeah, what do you weigh, like 130 or something?
I think I'm like 150, but I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm like...
Your dad way under... I think he told me to put on your license 127.
No, I'm not that. That's kidding.
You've grown a little bit since then.
Yeah, I think Slim Jim
I weigh like
here.
153, I think, usually. Something like that. But I'm like a rail, so it's hard to find a...
Yeah, they don't have a ton of... Now, I will say that's the thing about Kuiu is I love how... like Ask Thomas, on one of our podcasts we did, how he was talking about how that's why he loves the Kuius because it's so well fitted. And when I say
talking about the gear or the waders?
The waders. Well, the gear in general. Like the rain jacket. Remember when you threw it on? It's just like...
It is.
It's not tight. I can't stand tight. I can't stand
But it's not like just hanging off your shoulders like a poncho.
There's just... Exactly. There's not all this baggage of material.
Man.
Dude, that never used to do that.
Well, if you drive correctly, I'd be swerving.
It never used to do that, though. I don't know why that's... happens. You know what I need? As much as we do this, I need to put like Velcro.
You need to put one of these and put a chin gun on the bottom of the...
Just a little mount or something.
Yeah.
Of the camera. Just...
I do need to do that. But that was one of those burp skin boys. You don't want to smell that one,
brother.
That's that Little Caesars sunflower seeds burp.
Oh, nice.
Where was I going with that? Oh, and how it's like, okay, I don't like tight. I don't like this old new style that's been around for 5-10 years where skinny jeans, this junk. I hate that junk. Can't hardly go find a pair of pants that fit like normal man.
Yeah.
Instead of a stinking girly pants,
Cinch
dude.
jeans, brother.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. But you got to go to specific places. That you ain't gonna go find that at JCPenney's or
no.
You're never gonna find good manly jeans. I know. I mean, should I even have to say?
No. Yeah.
Anyways, so.
I will say, I wish, now you saying that, I wish I would have got the mediums. And we looked, they weren't available.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're not as fitted to me as my Sitkas are.
They're not.
And I like them. It's not a big deal, but they're not as, like, really fitted like a pair of overalls are. Like.
Yeah, that's.
And it's not. And I'm not saying they're baggy.
Well, that's why I want you to try them on then.
No, it's
so we
fine.
It's
not like they're too big. Like I feel like maybe a medium would be too small. Maybe
I don't know, dude. Probably not.
Dude, I don't know, but maybe once I put
a hoodie. Let me say this,
vest,
you guys listening: if you ever do buy those Kuiu waders, I will tell you this. I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10 and a half without shoes on. So with shoes on, I'm really 5'11". But I'm also 215 pounds. Okay, so I wear the 10. Well, now I'm wearing the 11 short. Large. Okay, so they have the 3 there: the shoe size, the height size, and then the body weight or thickness size. And I will tell you this: if you say if you just had a long sleeve shirt on and you put the waders on, if they fit you really good, then you're good to go with your jacket with all your stuff underneath, because it fits under there good, and it's not baggy, or not baggy, but it doesn't. Oh, I can't really pull these up because I got all this gear on. It won't go over it, right? It fits good. It's weird. I don't know.
It tucks well.
It does. It really does. But I'm curious with yours, John, just because I think it has a limited lifetime 3-year, which I've never understood the limited lifetime warranty. But anyways, you got 3 years on that, just so you know. Okay, so I don't know really fully what that covers. Probably just product failure, maybe a seam rip or something.
Yeah.
But I want to see how long you're going to be able to use yours for.
If they last 5 years, I won't buy Sitka waders until those ruin, because there's literally no difference to me.
Yeah, how you're comfortable and all that. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm curious to see how long they last too.
Yeah.
I think I like the Kuiu boots more than the Sitkas.
I do, for sure.
And I don't know if it's hard to explain. It's not really designed, because they're actually more simple when you look at them.
Mm-hmm.
They're very more simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
But the way your foot just snaps in there, and it has that hug support around your ankle, and they're not as bulky, I guess. They're not as soft and fluffy, and they're not as blown up.
Yep.
They're like wearing a leather boot almost.
And ask Thomas about walking in the nasty mud, dude.
Really?
Remember in the episode when we talked about how he said they made the side of the boot, instead of it flaring out with a slight flare, which causes a suction, which would make it harder to pull your foot out of bad mud.
Right. It makes you
Theirs is vertical.
It is vertical. That's what I'm saying. It's like wearing a leather boot.
I'm telling you, it comes right out of mud. And the tread on that is like a mountain bike tire tread. It is a huge difference. It makes a big difference. I promise you it does. It's not just in my mind. It does.
No, you're right. I know it does.
Yeah.
But I wish they'd make a stinking zip.
I guarantee they're going to.
They have to. They have to.
They will.
That would just...
How they're going to do it, what type of style they're going to do, I have no idea.
And it's one of those things where, we've talked about, it's not a deal breaker. It's not, but once you've had waders that zip, you don't want waders that don't zip.
Okay. Let's everybody remember this. Let's remember this conversation, and let's do another episode on the way home from here, talking about. We'll just do a recap like we do.
Yeah.
But let's circle back around to this, because I'm gonna really be. Don't force it. If you still are frustrated not having a zipper, let me know. But I really thought that was gonna bug me. I really did, and it didn't.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what do you like about having a zipper?
With having one?
Yeah. What do you like about it?
To go pee.
See, that don't bother me. I could care less about that.
Okay. My other thing would be putting gear on and off.
Exactly. See, that's me, layering.
Yep.
You wearing a long sleeve, a lightweight, a heavier weight or midweight, a vest, a bigger jacket, maybe like a puffy or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got your waders on. Oh, now we've hunted in the morning, we're loading up, it's getting hot. Now I want to pull my jacket off. Oh, guess what? Now I got to unstrap, pull my waders all the way down.
Don't you still got to pull, even if you have a zip, you still got to take your straps off. Take a jacket off.
Well, okay, what I mean by you have to unstrap is...
but I'm saying walk through that with me, though.
No, you're right. That's what I'm saying. But I don't have to take the waders down.
Right.
It's just easy. And, okay, what I'm trying to get at,
You'll see, dude.
No, I know. You're right. But what I'm trying to say is...
No, I'm not trying to argue the fact.
Right, I'm not trying to say it's easier to take it on and off.
This is how me and Harrison talk. We're not arguing.
To me, it's the fact...
Wait till you see us I'm smiling. I'm just listening.
Wait till you see us putting decoys out.
To me, it's the fact of tucking your gear.
Yes.
Getting situated and comfy, everything's hanging standard.
Because literally
you can get it comfortable and then just...
Yeah. You have your Sickas up? No, well, I would always have them up, and I would spread it open.
Flip them over you.
I would have it open,
exactly.
pull it up, and zip. You're done.
Yeah, and everything stays the same. Now, when you pull waders up, you got to be really careful. And if you're bulked up, you got to like tuck it back down.
I've had everything. I will say this: I've had everything on. Yeah, I've had everything on, and I've never grabbed it and ripped it to where the back of my jacket is up in here at the top of my shoulder blade because it grabbed it, and then I had to pull it back down, fix it again. I haven't had that happen yet.
Guess my thing is,
I know what you're saying. I promise you, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, right. What you're talking about, I guess it's not I'm not concerned about it while I'm hunting. It's just about when I put it on.
No, I know, and that's what I'm saying is I thought it was going to be a big deal. I'm like, oh, this is going to be annoying.
So in reality, it's really just a convenience factor. Like I'm saying, it's not a deal breaker.
It is, but I'm just saying, like, now somebody that's been wearing them quite a while now is I thought that was going to bug the dog out of me, and I thought I was going to have issues with that.
Really?
And it wasn't. Not even a phase me.
But I guess
here's another thing. And I'm sorry for you guys listening not to hear this again because I've already said this once. But the other thing I thought of was, and Sean Ayers from Kuyu told me this. He goes, I have a little tip for you. You know when you want to take a leak and you got to unbuckle and say you have your rain jacket over top of your everything else and your waders, right? So what you would have to do would be you'd have to unbuckle underneath your rain jacket, pull your waders down, which means your strap's going to go all the way back, and you have to take your rain jacket off, right, to put that back on, because you can't do it without taking it off,
right,
to put it back on.
Yeah.
He goes, just keep sliding them down. You'll feel the buckle coming up to the top of your shoulder, and then he goes, you stop right there. Don't take your strap off. Don't force the strap off. It will stay. It sits right on top of your shoulder. When you're done, you pull the waders back up, grab both buckles, buckle in, you're good, and you never even took off your rain jacket. And it does. I've done it 10 times already, and I never had to take off my top layers. Yeah. Now, I said all that. I'm just playing the devil's advocate.
No, you're right. I'm not arguing it whatsoever because you've done it.
No, it's just good conversation because people are going to ask you those questions.
To me, it's just a convenience thing. Like, if you could have it, why wouldn't you want it?
I'm going to.
That's what I'm saying.
Guaranteed.
Like, it's like I said, it's not a deal breaker, but if they offer it, why wouldn't you want it? Because it's just that much nicer.
No, I agree. I was just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, no, I know.
Because
but like I was saying, how many years have we wore waders without it? So it's one of those things you don't know.
Majority of our hunting.
It's just a little bit more convenient. It's not. You've never had them before, but once you have it, it's like I kind of always
like
want
dropping
it if it's
heat.
an option.
I like dropping heat.
That's a big thing. California, it's so stinking hot, dude. When you're walking, and you can leave your waders on with the straps. Because what I used to do is when it was so stinking hot, you'd pull your waders down, fold them to my waist,
down your legs.
and I would take my straps and put them around my waist like a belt, kind of, to try to walk back to the truck like that. Because it's so stinking hot, you're sweating inside of them. So that's what I did like about having the zip is I could zip, and then all of my shirts or hoodies I'm wearing are all half zips. I could zip down to bare skin to my stinking belly button almost, and get air quick, cool off.
Yeah,
that's what I guess. That's a big point. I forgot about that.
Which again, like you said, you could still do that with these. I guess, like you said, it's a great feature, and I love it. And I think I would still go back to zip if they come out with them. I think. Thomas said he don't phase him all. He goes, I could care less about zipper. I'm like, really? I thought he would be the one of all people.
I really thought so,
but he loves having full pockets up here.
I was just going to say that. I do.
And I'm like, dude, that is nice, dude. I have gotten used to it now, and I'm kind of like liking it.
I do like that.
But that's why I said, why can't they do a zip? I even mentioned to those guys, why can't you do, there's only one brand that does it. I think it's Duck Camp Co. That goes from the crotch, and it's almost like a semi-S shaped zipper, and it goes to the armpit.
Huh.
So it lets you still have a full pocket and you have a zipper. But I don't know. Whatever. At this point, I didn't care as much as I thought.
We're just tweaking on stuff.
We are, yeah. We're just having a conversation.
Right. There's probably some old school guys that will hear this and be like,
back in my day.
Well, they're still wearing PVC waders and whatnot, and we're over here talking about, my waders don't zip.
Somebody said on the podcast recently, I think said, what did he say? I should read it. Since they listen anyways, I give some people shout outs since they are listening, commenting, but I don't know if he meant this in a good way or not, but it was, I gotta get over. Hold on a second. It was something about waders, and he was saying how he still wears boot foot. I bet you it was on me and Thomas's Oh, right here. No, actually, this was our loadout video. This guy said, unpopular opinion. I hunt in Sims fishing waders with actual wading boots, and they're much better than wearing any hunting wader with attached boots, in my opinion. Which I don't agree with that. I used to wear bootfoot wading boot ones, and I just, dude, if you've ever walked in the stickiest mud in your life and had that boot come off in the middle of a pond, it's over.
Yeah. Now you're digging.
You have nowhere to sit. Yeah, you're digging it out, and your other foot's going to probably get stuck. And then you have nowhere to sit down because you're in the swamp trying to put another boot back on. They're kind of nice when you're hiking and stuff. I'm not going to say that. It's not, but anyways, I don't know how long we've beaten this dead horse up.
I don't know. We're already at 40 minutes.
Yeah. I
guess really what we did this podcast about is trying to, I don't really care to advocate for it, like to convince people, but that higher dollar waders are worth the value compared to other priced waders.
It is.
It really is. If you're just a weekend guy, I don't want to say weekend guy. If you're the guy that hunts 4 times a year, it's probably not worth it.
Yeah.
Or you may, I got stuff going, family stuff going, I may not hunt this season. Like, you're just one of those casual.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
No,
it's not.
I agree.
But if you're a hunter that hunts every weekend, or I'd say at least 15 times a year, it's worth it.
100%.
It's 100% worth it. And not even, like we talked, the biggest thing's the economical standpoint of the warranty. But the biggest thing, what I try to tell everyone is, you are 10 times or more comfortable wearing them than anything else. It's like, I've wore other waders where they never fit right. You have so much, because I'm like a shorter guy. I'm a size 10. I'm about $190, but I have short legs. I have a longer torso and short legs, so I always got size 10 waders, and there's literally an extra 10-inch of material underneath my knee.
Yeah.
It's just, once you put on a set of waders that are fitted to you, you're like, this is just unbelievable. It's like wearing a pair of jeans and a pair of boots.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what.
And John, for you, John, how much more comfortable have you been?
Yeah.
Oh, way more comfortable.
Like how much easier has it been for you for those long days when you're wearing something that's just right for you?
Oh, 100%. And then the neoprene waders too, when you're sitting all day in the water, that even if you get like a thicker grand boot, for some reason they just don't feel as warm as these ones. Like my feet never get cold in these at all.
Yeah.
And the neoprene ones, my feet would always be freezing.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
Just a better quality boot,
just
too.
better, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though they're the same, you can get a thick grand boot or whatever, but yeah, it makes a huge difference for sure.
Yeah. I just remember being so miserable. Everybody's thoughts that hasn't done duck hunting or did it years ago and hasn't done it in a long time always talks about how miserable it is. I'm like, those days are gone.
Yeah.
Because the gear that's available now that you can wear, I can't tell you the last time
I've been uncomfortable.
And
if you have been, it's because you didn't bring something.
Yeah, you just forgot a jacket or you got a little cold. But dude, I don't get cold no more. I don't get wet no more. I don't get hurt, like sore, or like something don't fit right and it's rubbing me raw. Like that stuff don't happen
I learned
anymore.
all this real quick because I never used to have a system, like a series of equipment that goes together in certain scenarios. You mix and match. I never had any of that.
It was just like a rainproof jacket.
All I had was
hoodie,
T-shirts, and I used to wear just like the old school Drake with the big turtleneck.
Yeah.
Just like a hoodie that was hat bottom fleece, top like that waterproof material. So I had one hoodie type, unit, and a waterproof jacket, and that was it. Like that was it. So it was like
layers, no.
Yeah. What's layering?
Right. So it's like once you're either hot or you're cold, or you're like
literally,
you said,
there's no in between.
Something's rubbing you wrong, or you're bulky, or
you can't turn your head and look because you got your stupid rain jacket. Push your head forward, and you're like craning to look over.
Yeah. You turn over, you just got a hood in your face.
And then I finally, invested some money into getting a system, which there's hundreds of different types of systems out there. I just ended up going with Sitka. But, having lightweight, midweight, core stuff, layering.
And
wearing.
everybody does that now, right? Like even Drake and them, they all have.
But that's what I mean.
Systems.
Every Cabela's, Bass Pro, everyone they do it. But I just never did back then.
It's been a game changer though.
It is. We mix and match depending on the day what you need. And now incorporating puffy stuff.
I used to think it was stupid, actually.
Me too.
Like, you don't need 7 pieces for this. This is stupid. I could wear my one jacket and a hoodie.
Yeah, that's all I ever wore. I was like, that's all you need. I got my one jacket and go everywhere. But I think the biggest thing, I still tell people this, is it depends how hard you hunt.
It is. How much you hunt.
How much club, if you hunt the refuge here and there, you can get by with a nice,
for sure,
mid-weight hoodie type and then a jacket. But when you start getting up, and how much diversity we hunt, dude? We'll be hunting 92 degrees, and then we're up in Washington. Everything's iced over. You got to have a system that can mix and match and work for everything.
Parts in California hitting 10 degrees. I mean, you're just...
and if you're hiking a lot, that's a big thing. We can go in light, like what we just did when we went up on our trip early season.
Might be a hair cold right at the beginning, but...
all I wore was a mid-weight type long sleeve shirt, and once we hiked in, I had my puffy in my bag.
Yep.
And once we hiked in, I cooled down and just put my puffy on and hunted the day. And when we hiked out, I pulled it back off.
Makes a huge difference, but
just convenience, luxury, I guess.
I think this was a great conversation to have because it's a question people ask all the time: is that worth it? Should I invest in this? Why should I invest in this? And I hope we covered it properly. Maybe we bounced around a little bit.
I hope people understand that it is an investment.
It is.
It's not so much. I mean, it is expendable money. If you can afford it, do it. But if you can afford it, it really is an investment. Not I'm throwing money out the window because it's nice or it's cool.
Right. Because this gear is going to be good for years.
Warranties, dude. It's good forever. It's just like a mechanic buying Snap-on tools. That wrench will go 5 generations down the line. It'll continue to get warranted. Yeah. Good forever. Yeah. Same thing.
Yep. Anything else to add to that, John?
Not that I can think of, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
It's a little expensive, but you won't be sorry.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well,
check that out. $479.
I know. What's going on? I think that's
Rolling Hills.
That's that casino I was telling you about.
I think
all right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Hey, one quick thing real quick. Don't forget themotionducks.com/MVM. And put the code MidValley to get an additional 10% off the already discount. Forgot to say that at the beginning of that, but I'm telling you, jerk rig on steroids. Check it out and help support the podcast. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one.